Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and here we have the KUNWU X-TAO. First off, I've been impressed with the KUNWU knives, and this one's another great example. It is really, really cool. And I think this is possibly the first titanium access lock that I've tried that was production, that wasn't aftermarket. I know I've tried aftermarket ones, like where you buy aftermarket parts and make it titanium, but this one comes from the factory with ELMAX steel, titanium with titanium buttons or whatever that you use for the access lock. And we're going to go over all this stuff. Now, the ELMAX steel. I love ELMAX steel. And KUNWU, I have tested their heat treat before. They did a decent job. There was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't extravagant, but it was good. It was decent, nothing bad with it. And I do like ELMAX a lot. And ELMAX is very similar to M390. Now, this one has a titanium backspacer with a nice little hidden lanyard back there. And then the finish on the titanium is this orange peel with this titanium milling that goes around the edges. Not only does it look good, but it feels nice in the hand. It's very, very comfortable in the hand. It does have flat scales on the sides, but this chamfered edge, just makes it super comfortable in the hand. The wire clip, you might get a little movement, but it's comfortable in the hand. So gutting with it, man, this thing's going to be super, super comfortable. Now, you see we have this like stair step type of thumb stud thing. And then we have the stair step buttons for the access lock, which is pretty cool. Now, with this, you see where you put your thumb right up to there and you deploy it. Now, the one thing is that it's an access lock or access style lock, crossbar lock, which doesn't usually give you a strong detent, right? So it's a little mushy. The slow roll is very nice because this thing is mega smooth. You can tell it's on bearings, but because it doesn't have a strong detent, you do have to kind of, use a little oomph to get it out, or, you can just go right from the bottom and snap straight up and it works great. But if you're going to go out from the side, you kind of got to, use a little momentum with your thumb flick and the reverse flick. Because if you just break the detent or what acts as the detent, it's not going to really go anywhere. But with a little bit of flick, it's going to go out every time reliably. Now, these buttons on the crossbar lock are very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. And it makes it feel very premium, how smooth it is. And, it just feels like all the parts are moving extremely well. No stick, anything like that. The buttons are super comfortable, so it makes disengagement just nice. Very, very nice. I do like the way they did these buttons. I actually prefer these buttons on a lot of access locks, to be honest. Even like when I did my SPYDERCO Mannix, I did wind up getting titanium ones instead of the plastic ones, just because they felt better. Now these feel even better. Now, the clip is reversible, as you can see, and I imagine this clip will work great. It does have a little bit of bend to it, not a big deal. It shouldn't scratch the finish too much because this type of finish on titanium is very, very durable. The grind, relatively thin behind the edge, a little bit of a thicker blade stock, but it should cut really good because you have such good ergos. You shouldn't have a problem pushing this through anything. The tip's a little bit high, so utility cuts are not going to be the best, but for overall build quality, fit and finish, this thing is premium quality. It feels really good. Now, I do notice it does have the liners on the inside. I'm not sure if that's titanium or steel, but I do see the liners. I have no idea. Now, there is a couple little details that I'll talk about that I don't like, and one of them is this choil. You guys know I'm the choil guy, and the plunge grind goes right to the edge, so I'd love to see a plunge grind way back here where you have all this life to sharpen away. Instead of the plunge grind going right to the edge, it will create a smile if you sharpen it. Now, in the closed position, you have plenty of room to cut in a choil as long as you don't hit down here where the stop pin hits. You can see where the stop pin hits right here. That's right there. So as long as you just cut a circle right here, you can clean it up real easily with a Dremel. This thing is mega smooth. Also, the box is really nice. It comes with the hardware to take it apart, extra Omega springs, and extra clip for the opposite side. Just really nice packaging all the way around. A cleaning cloth, a pouch. Man, yeah, they went overboard. Not overboard, but you like to see extra hardware and everything. And I don't see extra hardware in here, but, you know, having the hardware to take it apart, maintain it, plus Omega springs, that's really cool. Now, there is one problem. And that is that these guys are not available. They're not available. So they're all gone, and I should have said that right off the bat. Sorry, guys. They do have another knife that is available. I actually thought about picking it up because for the money, these are really well done. Premium quality and surprisingly really good. And I mean that because, you know, sometimes when you see some of these companies, you're like, are they going to do a good job? You know, is it worth the money? And so far, everything I've handled from these guys has been worth every penny. And it's almost silent too. Very quiet. Now, of course, you can force sound. But it's super duper smooth. The one other complaint I would say, if I was going to come up with some more complaints, is this stop pin. I wish the stop pin was a little bit bigger. Is it a big deal? No, but you have the stop pin or the crossbar lock, which is nice and robust right here. This pin I wish was the same size, but not that big of a deal. I'm sure it's plenty strong, and it is locked up very solid. No side-to-side play at all. And how smooth it is, you would think it did. But up and down, like I said, I can muscle a little up and down, but I can make it go away. And I bet if you put new Omega springs in here, the detent would be even stronger. These buttons are so comfortable. They feel very good. And it has a really good look to it, doesn't it? Doesn't it just look good? Now, these thumb discs, they're not uncomfortable. They're not the most comfortable, but they're good. You know, like, you kind of get used to them, and once you get used to right where your finger needs to lie and creating tension, kind of snapping it up like that, where you're not going out like that, where it almost feels like that's what they want you to do, unless if you're going to slow roll it. But if you're going to snap it, you almost grab this edge and snap it straight up, which it's still very comfortable. But anyways, just the first impressions, guys, because like I said, these are gone, and I hate that because I would have loved to have gotten one. And then I could have tried replacing the Omega springs. You can get Omega springs on Etsy if you ever want to, you know, replace any of your other Omega springs or possibly get stronger ones or anything like that. You can always try out the ones on Etsy. They're very affordable. Love you guys. Peace.